gonna go ahead and introduce, our next two incredible trainers here. Okay, so first, right, our first trainer that we have here is out of Minnesota. Right, actually got a chance to hear from him last night. Always learn incredible things from him as well. CEO, Mr. Jack Yang. Okay, and he's going to share more about finishing strong. Okay, right now we at the end of the year. Okay, and a lot of times people, get into the holiday spirit, but we know that what we do here in December has a lot to do with what our 2024 will look like, right? Basically, we already in 2024, right? And so he's going to share with us about how to finish strong. And after that, we have another incredible trainer coming from the West Coast, okay? Going to share more about, some ways that we can do, or some ways that we can basically close out strong. And that's Carlo Del Mundo coming from California, okay? So y'all give a hand for these two incredible trainers here. Basically every week we always privileged to hear from our community. These people pour in, share with us what some of the things that's working for them, and that way we can take these things and make it work for our business. So again, my name is Marcus Harris, and we're going to go ahead and bring up Mr. Jack Yang.
All right. So can you guys hear me well? Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you, Marcus. First of all, we wanted to thank you for your service to the country, and even now, continue to thank you for your service in a different way in terms of providing financial literacy, and again, to the 300 plus millions of U.S. citizens. So we really appreciate you.
Thank you.
But tonight is actually not about me. I'm just gonna have about maybe 3 to 5 minutes. But I do want to share a little bit about December, because personally to me, December has always been a very, very special month. I remember that long ago, I think back in 2008 or 09, we became a Green Jacket team in the month of December. And also back in 2019, literally in a matter of about 15 days, December of 2019, when our leadership team decided to really come together, make a big decision. Back then, we told ourselves that we have to become a CEO team, and literally 2 weeks from December 15 till December 31st, including Christmas, including New Year, we work relentlessly, and we wrap up 480,000 plus the production point, promoted 2 SMD, and became a CEO team back in 2019, December as well. So the reason I want to share about that is because I think a lot of time when we think about December, we think about holiday season, right? We just finished the Thanksgiving. Many people probably did a lot of Black Friday shopping and whatnot. Everybody is in a happy mood. Everybody is kind of in a relaxed mood. Definitely a lot of food mood. But I think that to all of us here, to especially to any business, any entrepreneurs, December, the holiday season has always been the golden opportunity. I mean, if you think about it, right? Every business from Amazon to all the department stores, I mean, you can think about Best Buy, you name it. The December has always been the prime of their business in a whole year. Most of the business usually staff up because they want to get ready to capture this moment, right? If you look at the stock market, historically speaking, December has always been one of the strongest months out of the whole year, right? Why? Because all the sales go up, all the revenues go up. Usually company, crank out the number, make sure finish the year strong. And I think same thing apply to WSP. I know that we are a group of insanely crazy in a good way of entrepreneurs, right? So I think the December, we have to position ourselves, and we got to think about how can we wrap up this year strong. I'm particularly excited about not just tonight, but really for the upcoming next 3-4 weeks, because we are going to plan out this whole month webinar. Every Wednesday night, we're going to talk about how we can position ourselves, strategize, and make sure capture this golden opportunity. We're gonna give you all the tools that you need to make sure you have absolutely the best month ever. We're gonna make sure to strategize with you, show you exactly what you need to do. And we're gonna make sure not only you close out this month strong, but more importantly, how do you position yourself for the first half of 2024, right? Coach already mentioned, I think for all the business owners, we know that we are not in 2023 anymore. We are busy to really prepare for 2024, especially the upcoming launch, right? So in, again, the next several weeks, we're gonna show you all of these different nuggets. We're gonna talk about tonight, earlier, like Marcus mentioned, we're gonna bring on one of the best. I mean, when I well, out in Gold Street, just over the weekend, I heard Carlo, did a quick sharing about how him and his team did, home BPM over the Thanksgiving holiday, weeks. I mean, it blew my mind off. I mean, we all know home BPM, right? It's nothing new to us, but really how simple that him and his team is able to put it, right? And how effective it could be, right? And it hit me like a ton of brick. It's like, how come we did not do that, right? So that's why we invited him tonight to really talk about home BPM. But in the upcoming week, we're gonna talk about, we're gonna invite some of the best leader in terms of mobilizing team, and we're gonna have them share with us talking about how we can mobilize the maximum number of people to launch. We're going to talk about GX. How do you make sure touchdown strong this month, like us? We have declared to deliver 30 GX this month, something we've never done before. But you know what? If we don't set the goal, we probably know we'll never hit the goal, right? So we're not afraid to really aim high. So again, this month is going to be an amazing month. And I want everybody to buckle seatbelt, get ready. And we want to make sure that every one of us win big, all right? So without further ado, I do want to bring on the main trainer and speaker for this evening, from all the way from Gold Street headquarters, the Green Jacket, and Mr. Carlo De Mundo. It's all yours, Carlo.
All right. Good evening, WSB. Wow. Jack. Well, anyways, it's nice to see you in Gold Street last Saturday, and the other leaders as well. There's a lot of guests that was actually in Gold Street last Saturday, and I don't know what I did. I know I just shared something that I've been doing for many years, and I got a call from what's her name? Anyways, I got a call from somebody and says, Carlo, can we invite you to train? So, but anyways, it's a pleasure and privilege for me to be with you guys tonight and share with you that I know a lot of us coming on the holiday season, right? But before that, let me introduce myself a little bit, right? So I've been in the business for the last 13 years, right? And I've been guided and mentored by one of the great legend in this company, and his name is the famous Mr. Eric Colette, right? So everybody knows Eric, right? So I joined the business in January 2010. So in fact, it'll be my 14th year next month, right? And then I know that I'm at the right place at the right time. So I decided to quit my job after 11 months. So imagine, it only took me 11 months to make that big decision. And that big decision actually happened because of Hawaii Convention. So November 2010, that was my first Hawaii. And coming back, I didn't even give my boss 2-week notice. I only gave my boss a 1 week notice. So my last day for my previous job, I used to be an accounting manager with Toshiba, was November 12th. So, I vividly remember that November 12th really is very important to me because that's my first day working for Toshiba, and that was my last day, and being the first day being full-time here with WSB, right? So, but anyways, going back to what I shared last Saturday here in Gold Street, I know a lot of us are hearing, oh man, it's the holiday season again, right? Whenever I invite, a lot of people are going to have all the excuses in the world, right? That's what we hear from our new team members. Sometimes we hear it from our seasoned team members, right? Sometimes from our leaders, right? But every single year, I keep telling everybody in our team that you gotta be excited, right? Holiday season is the most exciting, events, right? First of all, let's identify ourselves, right? What are the two things that we have to be excited about, right? Well, as a business owner, right? Holiday season, they're very excited. Why? Because they know they're going to make a lot of money, isn't it? Right? Now, as an employee, we're also excited because that's the time that we're going to be spending a lot, right? So ask yourself, are you a business owner or are you an employee, right? Are you going to be making money or are you going to be spending money, right? So now, what's the beauty of understanding that the holiday season is the best time for us to really build our business to the next level? So let me share with you my screen here, okay? Closing your business strong during holiday season. All right, can you guys see the screen? All right, okay. Can you guys see the screen? Thumbs up. Thank you, Marcus. All right. So now,
Good, Carlo.
what's the advantage of, what's our advantage during holiday season, right? The advantage of campaigning and contacting during holiday season, right? Now, let's say during holiday season, you just joined the business, or maybe you've been in the business for the last 5 years. You recreate your share list. And most of the time, 70-80% of those people in your share list, you haven't talked to them for months or sometimes years, isn't it? Now, if you start contacting them and it's not a holiday season, what do you think those people would think? Uh-oh, why is Carlo contacting me? Is he up to something? Right? But what's the advantage of us? If we contact everybody that we know during holiday season, right? Isn't it true that they are happy? People are happy because you remember them, right? In fact, I have my very first goddaughter in California. I have not seen them for many years. So guess what? Don't you think they'll be happy if I text them and say, hey, it's been a while, happy holidays, right? Now, what's the other advantage? Of course, I said it already, right? They will not think that you're up to something. That's human nature, whether we like it or not. We have to accept that, right? Now, what's the advantage of campaigning and contacting during holiday season? Oh, isn't it true that most likely they will respond to you, right? And when they respond, what's going to happen? You might get an invitation to visit, or you invite them to visit. Isn't that true? Right? So that's why for me, holiday season for me is one of the biggest opportunity for us to be able to reconnect to everybody that we know, right? So now, what do we do next? I said it already. This is the season that we have to create our biggest share list. And I have no doubt, right, that we can easily come up with 100 names, even if we've been in the business for, many, many years, right? So do that during holiday season. Why? It's a biggest opportunity, like I said. What happened last month, right? I told the team, Thanksgiving, is one of the biggest holiday in the United States. So what do? First, you greet them. advance happy Thanksgiving. How are you? Right? Then Thanksgiving happened. What do you say? Happy Thanksgiving. It's been a while, right? And then 2, 3 days later, what do? Belated happy Thanksgiving, right? Isn't that an opportunity for us, right? Because sometimes it's hard. And to be honest, right? If somebody would, reach out to me and I have not seen them in many years, I mean, I will be doubtful. Oh, what's going on, right? But if it's a Thanksgiving, if it's a holiday season, guess what? They're gonna respond, right? So like I said, guys, create your biggest share list, right? Because we have another holiday coming up, right? It's December, right? So now, Jack talked about home BPM, right? For me, this is, let's put it this way. Eric really brought me to the business from day one doing home BPM. So for me, home BPM is a second nature, right? Now, ask yourself, if you're the presenter, would you like to present like this? Or are you going to be more excited doing presentations like this, right? I'm sure you're going to be like, oh man, I'd love to present to 3 people at the same time, right? It's going to save me time, right? Now, when it comes to home BPM, this is what we hear. Only the Filipinos can do it. Isn't that what you hear all the time? Why is it that only the Filipinos can do it? To be honest with you guys, there's many that are actually doing it. It's not just Filipinos, right? But anyways, I hope that after this training, you will do your first home BPM. Now, the next question is, okay, Carlo, home BPM. You grew up in home BPM, but this is still the big question. How do you guys do it? Right? Because that's the big question. How do you guys do it? Right? Okay, we always say it's not the how, but it's the why. But, it's the holiday season. Let me share with you how we do it, right? Okay, how do we do it? First, of course, when you have a new campaigner, let's say they join on a Saturday. What are you going to do? You're going to fast start them between 24 to 48 hours. So let's say that happened on a Monday, right? So what are you going to do? Of course, thank you to WSB. Fast start has never been so easy, right? We have the trainer's guidebook, right? We have the 8 circles on the trainer guidebook. Nobody should be lost anymore, right? But still, there's 8 circles. Most of the time, we don't really finish the entire 8 circles. We have to come back again or reschedule, right? So what do? This is what I do. I focus on the share list on the 8 circles. This is my focus. Why? Because I know that we can ask the new campaigner to list down 30 names that are very close to them. These are the people that they care the most. By the way, why did they join? Because they believe in the financial education campaign, isn't it? Right? When they believe in the financial education campaign, they know it's going to help the people that they care for. So guess what? I make sure that they list down 30 minimum people that are close to them. And then as a trainer, what am I going to do next? I'm going to help them identify the top 10, right? So what are the top 10? Who are the top 10? The top 10 are the people that are, let me say this. If they get a flat tire at 3 a.m., those top 10 will pick them up. They're the closest of the closest, right? Does that make sense? Right? Now, out of the top 10, if they invite them to their home this coming Saturday, do you think the top 10 will actually, show up? Probably not. But guess what? I know 3 to 5 will definitely come to their house, right? Especially if you're going to guide them how to invite, right? If you tell them, can you come on Saturday? I have something to share with you, something very important, right? I know it's going to benefit you and your family. And I need your opinion on it, right? Is that an easy way to invite, right? So now 3 to 5 shows up. What are you going to do next? Of course, it's a home BPM. We're going to have a lot of food. So guess what? Invite everybody in your base shop in the area, right? Why do you do that? So that they can participate and learn. Isn't that what our head coach keeps telling us, right? Even on a one-on-one, you got to bring one. But in this time, on a home BPM, you're not bringing one. You're bringing a lot. So guess what? Faster duplication can actually happen, right? So now what does it look like? This is what it looks like on an actual home BPM, right? So this is me, right? Doing home BPM on 3 people. And guess what? There's 6 of us that actually showed up, right? 6 of us, and we have 3 guests. So now after the presentation, what's going to happen? Of course, you got to have somebody, to assign. Remember Trainers Academy? All the trainees will learn from coach. As a leader, you have to learn to assign. So guess what? That's the team lead. This team lead will now assign these 3 people to focus on who, right? Focus on the guests after the presentation, right? Because let's say this guy invited all 3. Do you think he can focus on all of the 3? No, he can only focus on 1. So guess what? Gia, as pictured here, and everybody knows Gia, right? So guess what? She's gonna assign these 3 to focus on the guests. And who is this last person? He's actually one of the new team members. So what do you think he's doing? He's observing, right? He's observing what we're doing. So now, what's going to happen? After the presentation, the very first thing that we look at is this, the survey card, right? Do we look at everything on the survey card? No, we just look at the second page at the bottom. If we see that they check mark, they wanted to make money, they wanted to do the business, what do? Right? We ask them, to sign and be part of our financial education campaign, right? So guess what's going to happen? Do we recruit right away on a home BPM? Yes, right? But does that happen right away? Well, sometimes it does. Most of the time, it doesn't. So what do? What do you see on a home BPM? What's the best part about home BPM? Isn't it that there's food? So if they say, let me think about it. You know why they're thinking about it? Because they get excited. They get overwhelmed. It was an eye-opener for them. So guess what? Let's feed them first, right? After feeding them, what do? Of course, the Mozone continues, right? These 3 people plus the team leader and me now talking to those guests while they're eating, right? And what do you think we're going to do? We're going to try the second time, right? You should be part of this campaign. It's going to be good for you. It's going to be good for your family. And it's going to be good for our community, isn't it? So guess what? This is what they say. Let me think about it again. I know it's good, but, let me think about it. So what are you going to do next, right? Well, guess what? What do you think what we do after the food? Let's offer them some dessert, right? So now when they're eating their dessert, guess what are we going to do? We're still doing and talking to them, right? So guess what? How many times have we tried already? 3 times. If they still say no, guess what? Remember, they ate good food. They had some good dessert. One more try. Let's ask them if they want coffee or tea, right? So while they're having coffee, guess what are we going to do? Isn't this amazing, right? What a home BPM can do. They don't go home yet. You feed them, you give them dessert. You have many opportunities, many times, many ways, right? And at the end of the day, guess what? I have no doubt you will have result, right? Because it's happening to our team and can happen to all of you guys, right? So imagine, this is what a home BPM actually looks like, right? So now, look at this. This is an example. After the home BPM, right? You see there's food there. Forget about the alcohol. That's just wine because we were at Napa, right? But anyways, look at this. Gia is actually signing too at the same time, right? And at the end of the day, what happened? Boom. This is the result. Look at this. When was the last time you saw in your email, you have all of this Transamerica, welcome to WFG. Now, can you tell how many home BPMs we did in November 19? How many home BPMs we did in November 19? We did 2, right? We did a 3 o'clock home BPM, 4:19, somebody joined, 4:31, somebody joined. And then guess what? We did another one at 7 o'clock. Did somebody join right away? Yes, look. We finished 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock. They joined right away. Now, the person that did not join right away, what did we do? We gave them food. After they eat food, they join at 8:28. Now, somebody that did not join after they eat their food, we give them dessert. So guess what happened? 8:38 after the dessert. And last but not the least, the coffee time, right? So anyways, guys, it's pretty exciting for us that, home BPM is really, for me, it's one of the best way to share our campaign, right? So because of our home BPM, somebody joined us in Hawaii, and we did 2 home BPMs. And guess what? Let's congratulate our newest GX1 in our team, Francis Cadiz, right? Imagine, because of 2 home BPMs, he was able to finish his GX1, right? But you know what, guys? Multiple home BPMs truly will give each and every one of us multiple results, right? For me, I'd like to say that home BPM is like fishing with a big net, right? Why fish with a pole if you can actually fish with a big net? So anyways, thank you so much for inviting me tonight. Jack, thank you, right? It's really a privilege and honor to share with you something that works for our team, and I know it's gonna work for your team. And by the way, the next person that I'm actually gonna introduce did not finish her GX1 in 2 home BPMs. She actually finished her GX1 in 1 weekend. So guys, let's give it a round. Welcome to Mimi Akot Kuel. All right, so let's give it a hand. Mimi?
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Mimi Adut, and I am in Dallas Financial Center. And my upline is Ladu, and SMD is Divine. And I am a business banker by profession, and I joined this campaign in May of this year. And within the first 10 minutes, I was so in love with the campaign because I saw the mission and I believed in the financial education. So over the holiday, I wanted to visit family that I haven't been able to visit for the past 2 years. And I wanted to finish the year strong. Just wanted to make changes before the year end. And so I reached out to my upline and I was like, why not? How about we visit for Thanksgiving and also bring the financial education with me? And so, just the preparation, contacted a lot of people. Hey, I'm coming to town. I haven't visited you guys. I haven't seen you guys for a while. I'm inviting you to come over and come have Thanksgiving with us. So with that mindset, I've done a little bit of Facebook marketing, you could say, let people know I'm in town, and I'm going to be sharing some great information with me. And so my upline Divine and Ladu were able to join Ladu at the Financial Center in Minnesota, which is close to South Dakota, where my hometown was. And with that, with the family over, I did not enjoy turkey at all. I'm just telling you that. I don't even know how it looked like. I took time to just sit down and introduce myself to a lot of the family members that this is something new, that I'm part of it, and I believe for me on it. And the response back was amazing. About 20 people showed up, and actually 6 of them joined the campaign right away. And I was able to close my GX in one event, and no dessert or anything like that compared to. I was just thinking about that. I was like, I forgot about dessert. If they had any, but the moral of the story is that what we believe in here, it's amazing, and I saw that in the people that have agreed to join the campaign. And with that, I'm building a base shop in South Dakota, and we're working on our share list right now. Most of them are in pre-licensing. I got 4 of them going. The goal is to finish GXMD by December. Thank you for letting me share.
Wow, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
This is amazing, actually, Carlos. It's how many of you would love, in fact, will be dying to have an email with 6 AMAs in one day. Matter of fact, I saw there's 4 of them came in literally like back to back in a matter of what, maybe about 10-15 minutes. And there were 2 also literally right next to each other, right? Imagine if you have, each weekend, just maximize the Saturday, Sunday, right? In your team, you go all out this month, right? We have 4 weekends. And by the way, who said the home BBM has to be weekends also, right? It can be during one of the evenings, right? But if you just maximize, I was actually doing the math here. Let's say that you have 10 home BPM happens this month in your team, right? Spread it out. Maybe this week you have about 2 to 3, very conservative speaking, right? And then next week you have another 2 to 3. Now, Christmas, like Carlo mentioned, you can do pre-Christmas gathering, you can do the day of the Christmas, and you can do post-Christmas, right? And if you want, you can do sort of like an early New Year celebration. Whatever reason, whatever title you want to throw out there. The bottom line is that we know that during this time, people are happy, people like to get together, you make some finger foods. And here's the thing, I agree with you, Carlo, is not only Filipino. As far as I know, everybody loves food. Not just Filipino. I'm Chinese, I love food. You have food, I show up, right? So just doing the math here, if we have 10 home BPM in a base shop, and just, again, very conservatively speaking, on average, you have 2 members, 2 AMAs from each home BPM. Just the home BPM alone, you can have 20 brand new members in this month. Now you add on the regular, the one-on-one appointments, you add on the office BPM, the workshop. I firmly believe that if we made up our mind, any one of us, we can do a level 3 base shop. We can do 30 recruits. We can jumpstart our base shop, even if you have no movement right now. It's a matter of decision, right? So, Mimi, it's unbelievable. GX1 in 1 home BPM, right? Think about this, how much time we can save, right? Instead of driving around, instead of spending an hour for each person, right? Plus the back and forth driving time, let's say 2 hours, you pull people together, spend 2 hours with some great food, great gathering, great chit chat, and you get your team involved. Nothing can beat that. And before the call, Divine mentioned that she's confident Mimi's gonna wrap up her MD, her GXMD this month, just simply through home BPM, right? So, this is mind blowing. So, I want to challenge everybody here. Guys, look, we can sit here and we can listen to these great examples and we can feel goosebumps, we feel great, we can feel excited, we can feel pumped. But I can tell you this here, after tonight, when you walk out of your financial center, if you don't put your action, if you don't do something about it, well, guess what? Nothing gonna happen. Your business will stay the same, right? So I challenge every single person. Now, maybe you've done home BPM before, so you know exactly what we're talking about tonight. But maybe you have not. Maybe you are brand new. Maybe you just joined yesterday, right? You get on today and consider yourself as one of the luckiest one, right? Because with home BPM, you can jumpstart your business probably faster than anybody else, right? But whether you have done home BPM before or not, I challenge you guys put into action. I challenge you that each and every single one of you who is listening to this webinar right now, in the next 7 days, maximize, utilize this moment, and I challenge you just to throw 1 home BPM. It doesn't matter if you invite only 2 friends come over. or 3 individual, or maybe a couple families with their children, right? It doesn't matter what the size of the group is. I challenge you to do 1 home BBM in the next 7 days and get your team involved. And if you're new, reach out to your trainers. I am sure he or she will help you with that, right? And you go through that process and you understand how easy, how doable, and how effective, how productive, but the most important thing, how much fun it could be, and also how much your tummy could enjoy as well, right? So, you know, let's really put this into action, guys, all right? So, you know, I appreciate it for great sharing, Carlo. Appreciate it, Mimi. We're all looking forward for you to wrap up your MD this month. So that will be, I believe, the best Christmas gift that you can give to yourself, right? And to all of us, if Mimi can do it, there's no reason any one of us cannot do it. You know, today with GX program, I think the speed, it's faster than ever. I mean, I've started seeing more and more of the brand new persons coming in, and in a matter of 2 months and most 3 months, right, become a marketing director. I see more and more people who cross the $100,000 ring in less than a year, and that was unheard of before, right? Those of you who are part of the webinar on Tuesday, you see that every single week we recognize people who became green jacket. We recognize people who crossed 100,000, 250,000, $500,000. I mean, I've been jokingly telling my team that very soon you've probably seen that those who cross $100,000 do not even get recognized because there's too many of them, right? And which is actually a great problem to have. So guys, if you were me, if you're like me, you should be very, very excited, but really put into action, maximize your December, make your December to remember forever. Make sure that a year from now, 2-3 years from now, you look back at your business and you can vividly remember that December 2023, that was the turning point in your business. Why? Because you made a decision. You made a decision that is not just going to be an ordinary holiday season. You made a decision that this is the moment that you're going to step up the game and you're going to make sure that your business explodes. So again, thank you very much for getting on. I look forward to seeing everybody next week. Like I said, we have a series of powerful builder and speaker lineup for this entire month. We are going to really hammer down on every single bit of tools that you will ever need to make sure that this month we're all going to explode in our business as WSB. All right. So thank you guys. Looking forward to see you guys next week. Yeah. Bye-bye, guys. Bye, guys.
So, take what you hear, I hear you. All right.